Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing very, very well. Happy 2026. I feel like I have filmed a video this year, but I don't think we've seen each other. So happy 2026. I hope it is going well for you and this year is treating you good. I hope it treats us all good. We ain't gonna talk about it too much. So what we're doing today is my winter TBR. I have actually decided that instead of doing monthly TBRs, because I am a mood reader, it's taken me so long to admit that and to just give into it. Monthly TBRs just don't work for me. And so I'm just not gonna do them. So we're going to do seasonal TBRs every season is what I'm going to do. And you know, if there's a month where I just know for sure, like, yeah, no, I'm reading these 3 books or whatever, then I will do one, but I'm not gonna force myself to do one every month when what I'm gonna read is really gonna depend on just how I feel in the moment when I sit down to read. So these are some books that I know in the next 3 months I want to get to. And so it makes sense for me to go ahead and show them to y'all. And we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm actually gonna move this book and we're gonna talk about this book first. This is The Giver by Lois Lowry. So I technically have already read this book. When I put these books together to film y'all, I hadn't read this book. But I already read this book at the end of December and I talked about it in my Vlogmas week 4 vlog. So I will have that link down below. But basically in this book, we're following Jonas, and Jonas lives in a seemingly perfect world. Everything is laid out for you. Who you marry, where you work, where you go to school, everything is laid out for you. And let me see, how old was Jonas? Yeah, and Jonas is 12. And so then he's singled out to receive this special training that only one in however many people get. And as he starts to get this training, he starts to learn all these things about the world that changes the way he sees the world. And y'all, when I tell you this book, it is small, but it is mighty. This book was so good, but it kept me on the edge of my seat. I feel like this book really started to get me out of a reading slump because y'all, where was the book content last year? Hey, I don't know, okay? I was just in all the slumps, okay? And I was just rereading or re-listening to the same like 5 to 10 books over and over again. I absolutely could not do new stimuli at all. So there was none. And I feel like after reading this book, I'm like, okay, let's return the same books and let's read. Like, I'm ready to read. But I have some thoughts on how I'm approaching reading this year. We'll talk about that in another video. But again, one of the things is the seasonal TBRs. This book was so good though. So we'll talk about this more when I do like a wrap up. I did talk about it a bit in that video, but if you are looking for a page turner that really keeps you on the edge of your seat, it's not scary or anything like that because I don't do scary, but it's a dystopian book. So as you're reading it, you're like, what is going on? Like, it was just so good. And I think the other thing that I really loved about this book is we're following Jonas and he's 11 years old and then he's turning 12. So you're following a 12-year-old as he's uncovering what's happening in this world. Absolutely wonderful. No notes. Actually, 1 note. We'll get into it, but it was really good. So that's the first book on my TBR and I already knocked it off. And then the next book that I want to get to is The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie, Gilmore. And actually, I'm going to talk about these books not quite at the same time, but I borrowed these books. They're not mine, so I need to get to them. So this one is The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore. I don't remember what number this is in a series, y'all, but I borrowed this book from my boss because she's been reading these and we've been talking about them. And you know, this is the next book in the series and we are following Annie in this story. And I could not wait to get Annie's perspective. I feel like there's not a lot I can say about this book because I don't want to spoil people, but basically think small town romance, Hallmark vibes, okay? And that's exactly what this is giving. So in this one, we're following Annie, and Annie owns, what does she own? I'm so dumb. She owns the Gingerbread Bakery. Y'all, it's almost midnight. I don't do good at night. She owns the Gingerbread Bakery. And in this story, we're seeing the story from the perspective of her, but also from another person in the town, Mac. And Mac and Annie don't really seem to get along, but you don't really know why, and you don't know what's going on and what's going down. So I've only read a couple chapters of this book because I had it on Libby, and I didn't read it fast enough, and Libby snatched it back. So my boss let me use her copy. So I definitely want to get to this because I am so curious to learn more about Mac, to learn more about Annie, and just be back in this world. It is a cozy, small town romance, and I love that, especially because I'm not, you know, like, I'm a city girl. I'm living in a small town right now, but I'm a city girl, so I feel like reading small town romances is really the closest place I come to like being in a small town. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I didn't grow up in a small town. So something about that, I think maybe it's just like, maybe people who grew up in a small town feel that way about cities. But yeah. What else did I want to say about this? Yeah, I'm just excited to be back here. And also, I'm curious to see as I read this book, because in the other books, I feel like characters that we were introduced in other books, you do see them sprinkled in a little bit. Sometimes you find out other things about what's going on with them. So again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil other people. But I'm just excited to be back in this world and just see what's going on. So I can't wait to read this one. So yeah, if you have been reading this book series, definitely let me know where you are in the series. Let me know if you've already read this one. Let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it. And also let me know what your favorite book is in this series, because I feel like everybody has a different favorite book. And like, it's so interesting to me to hear people talk about their favorite book in this series, or like the book they hate in this series. So let me know where you are in this series if you are also reading it, and like how it's going for you. But I'm gonna get to this one this winter for sure, because I plan to get to it in the fall and I just did not. So it's going down, it's happening. And then here's another one that I also feel like is giving small town romance type vibes. Okay, this is also my boss's book. This is The Autumn Leaf Bookshop by K. Michaels. Now, to my knowledge, I have never read anything by K. Michaels. Also, can we just take a moment and just like appreciate this cover though? I mean, this is quintessential fall. Like, I absolutely should have read this in the fall. Like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so y'all, I don't know much about this story, okay? All I know, again, is on the back it says, a cozy, spicy, and magical small town romance. So you telling me we got small town romance, we got Hallmark vibes, and then magic is in here? I'm down. Say no more. I am very interested to see how magic is going to be weaved in this book. And because I don't know a lot about it, let's just read the back together, because all I know is my boss told me it was amazing. She told me if I like this, you know, this series, that I would like this one, and that magic was involved, and that she read it in a day. She said she read it in a day. I said, give it to me. Give it to me. Let me read it so we can discuss. I was like, absolutely. Bring it. So let's actually read what it's about together. So it says, Renee Hart doesn't do fall. Give her beaches, sun-soaked pages, and barefoot days under thunderstorm skies, and she's golden. But when her beloved grandmother needs care, Renee trades her coastal condo and best-selling romance career for 6 weeks in Everly Hollow. Everly Hollow, that's so cute. A cozy town full of enchantment, magic, and where not all beings are human. Okay. Silas Asheville is everything she doesn't need right now. Of course he is. Sorry y'all for the commentary. Okay. He's tall, too handsome for his own good, and the owner of the Autumn Leaf Bookshop. He's the literal embodiment of fall with his cozy sweaters, fall magic, and cinnamon-scented charm. Oh, and did I mention he's fae with a bonded miniature dragon? Renee is a summer-loving author. Silas is autumn incarnate. But sometimes the season you hate becomes the one that changes everything. Will Renee survive pumpkin season without losing her mind or her heart? Okay. Yep, absolutely. I will absolutely be doing this. So that's going down. And then this book, and I'm not reading this with nobody. I'm just reading this for me. Y'all, at this point, I'm going to just start over because I started this so long ago. I don't even remember what was going down. Like, I'm not going to start over the series, but I'm going to just start over at the beginning of this book because I remember the series. But this is the Akatar series, and this is book 3 in the series. This is A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I just cannot wait. Look how big this is. This is going to be a good time. This is going to be a very good time. And I feel like this is going to be escapism at its finest, but also just Like when I read this book and when I read the other books in this series, I feel like the thing that stood out to me is it's just reminded me of why I love reading. Like I just go places I would never go. So I just love it, y'all. But this book, we're following Feyre, and she's returned to the spring court. And let me see, she's returned to the spring court. I told y'all it's been a while since I read it. And she's come back to gather information on like Tamlin's action and learn what she can do about the king. See, I don't want to say that because I don't know where you are. So, but Feyre has returned to the spring court and looks like she's checking in on Tamlin and also trying to gather information and stuff. So yeah, everything about this is everything I'm about. And honestly, I read, like, book 1 was good, but book 2 was a masterpiece. No notes. Almost feel like book 2 was so good, it did kind of put me in a reading slump a little bit because I was just like, I mean, what else? How are you going to top that? But at the same time, I'm seeing everybody discuss it and I'm starting to get spoiled a little bit because this is an older series and I want to be able to join the discussions, but I'm only so far in the series. So I need to see what's up with Feyre, what's going down. And on the back, it says that this is a story of love, war, and revenge. Say no more. It's absolutely happening. I feel like this is a perfect book for fall or winter. I mean, it's a perfect book for any time, but we're going to get cozy and we're going to do this winter. So that's happening. And then I think this is going to be one of my final books. I'm not putting too many books on here because, again, what I pick up is going to be determined by my mood. So this is Markus Zusak, The Book Thief. Yes, I have never, ever read The Book Thief, y'all. Well, that's a lie. And kind of not. So I've read at least like the first like chapter or so a couple of times and I just wasn't feeling it. So I put it down, but that was years ago. And then one of my coworkers at work told me that she was rereading The Book Thief. And I was like, are you? I was like, well, I have that and I've always wanted to read it. And we got to talking about it and I was like, okay, so let's read it together. So I done got me a reading buddy for this one too. And I'm telling you, I am so excited about it, y'all, because I never have people in real life to talk to about it. And then I feel like I get scared, as silly as that sounds, to actually do BookTube content on here because I get in my head and really what it is I need to get out of my own way and stop comparing my channel to other people's channel because I get so excited about books that I feel like I start to like ramble and I'm like talking over myself. But who cares? Like I can still do the book content. So I need to get out of my own way and just film the book content that I want to film. So I'm going to work on that this year, y'all, and face my fears with that. So bear with me on that. But I am excited about this book. This is a book too that when I first started reading it, I was like, dang, I wish I had a vlog camera right now because I feel like I would want to vlog my experience with this book, but I'm like struggling to do that on my phone. So I don't think I'm going to be able to vlog my experience with it, but I have started reading it and I am on page 30. And if you don't know, in this book, this story is being told from the perspective of death. I think that is so interesting. Okay, so think the narrator of this story is Death. We are in Nazi Germany, okay, and we're following a little girl. I can't remember her name. I know that sounds terrible. I'm only a few pages in, y'all. And we're following her. To be honest with you, I really don't know what to expect from this story. I am not somebody that tends to go into stories blind at all. I at least like to read a synopsis on Goodreads or something like that. But this, all I know is we're following this little girl. It's told from the perspective of death, and it is Nazi Germany. And like I said, I am 30 pages in, and I'm very, very intrigued so far. I'm very, very intrigued so far. So I'm looking forward to reading this, talking about it with my coworkers, and talking about it with y'all. I really want to hold myself to that. We're facing fears in 2026. So yeah, and then the other thing that I would like to get to, just because I want to incorporate it, is this book right here. And this is my only nonfiction read because I have some other nonfiction books that I'm trying to get from the library right now on my Libby, but I don't know if they're going to be here before winter situation is over. So this is the only one I'm going to talk about. And if other things come when I do my wrap up, we'll talk about it. But this is Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pletz. Pletz? I think that's how you say it. And this book is basically a woman's guide to using the healing power of fasting to burn fat, boost energy, and balance hormones. Now, I have been intermittent fasting on and off for quite some time. I think I started last year. But I've like read a little bit about it, and I've watched a few of Dr. Mindy's videos, but I am definitely somebody that I feel like I like to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and I like to know the science and stuff like that behind it, because I feel like that motivates me even more. And I do feel like this is something that could be good for me. I did talk to my doctor about it. My doctor thought it was a good idea for me. And so, yeah, I want to read more about it, especially because I'm doing intermittent fasting. I did try alternative day fasting, but due to some health issues that I have, I cannot at this time, at least, alternative day fast. I was really bummed out by that, but y'all, I made myself really sick. And then I talked to my doctor about it, and she was like, girl, what are you doing? Absolutely not. So I can't do that, but I can intermittent fast. And so I just want to read and like learn more about it. I almost look at this as like a textbook. I have heard nothing but good things about this book. And so I really think this is one that I'm going to put on a nightstand so I can read a few pages every night. So I'm really looking forward to it, and just learning more about it and how I can incorporate it and the science behind it. So, and you know, just make sure I'm doing it right. So that is my winter TBR. I was checking my iPad, but I don't really have any books on there right now, because a lot of things are on hold and the wait times are just really long. So this is all we're going to discuss. Let me know what you are reading either this month, if you go by the month, or if you go seasonally. Anything you feel like sharing, I would love to know. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more BookTube content from me, please give me a thumbs up, because to be honest, y'all, I don't know what y'all want to see from me. So I'm just filming the videos that I want to see on YouTube and the videos that I feel passionate about. But it would be nice to see if you even want to see more BookTube content from me, because I feel like a lot of people did subscribe to me for my BookTube content. And then I got really scared and I just stopped filming BookTube content, y'all. So I'm going to work on that this year. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. And I will see you in another video very soon. My lashes is sticking together and it's on my nerve. All right, I will see y'all in another video very soon.